When I say let's go to Florida, I do not mean Miami, I mean this instead. Starting off with Zip the Canyons, located in Ocala. Yes, we really do have canyons right here in Florida, and you can zip line through them. This place is totally epic and makes one of the best day trips in the entire state. There's 9 different zip lines here, including this 1,100-foot long one over this lake, and you're ziplining at over 150 feet off the ground, which is crazy for Florida. There are also 2 sky bridges here, which are so fun to walk across, rappelling, and even kayaking. Zip the Canyons has so many different options to choose from, and most experiences take around 1 to 3 hours, depending on which one you pick. While you're in the area, I highly recommend heading just 20 minutes down the road to Silver Springs State Park, where you can ride on glass-bottom boats, and if you get really lucky, you may even see monkeys. Zip the Canyons truly doesn't feel like you're in Florida anymore and really makes you feel like you're in the mountains somewhere. This place is a must visit. If you want a Florida hidden gem that feels like a private island getaway, you are going to love our next stop, which is Peanut Island. It's tucked away on the Intracoastal in the Palm Beaches, and the only way to get there is by boat, which already keeps the crowds away more than lots of other beaches in the state. You can take a ferry, which is what I did, you can bring your own boat, or you can even paddleboard from shore because it's really close. Once you land, you've got calm, clear waters, perfect for snorkeling, a variety of beautiful beaches, and even a campground if you want to spend the night on your own slice of paradise. My biggest tip if you want to see gorgeous clear water like I'm showing in this video is to try and visit Peanut Island around high tide, as this is when the water is at its bluest and prettiest. If you go at low tide, it isn't quite as striking, but it's still fun. There's no cars and no chain restaurants, just that did we find a secret island feeling, which is what makes this place so magical. I don't know about you, but while everyone else is stuck in Miami traffic, I would much rather be kayaking down a natural lazy river in Florida. Our next stop is Emerald Cut, which is a beautiful river through a tropical paradise located in Apopka. You can get there by renting a canoe or kayak from a place called King's Landing, or you can launch your own watercraft. You're going to start by paddling through this brown water canal, and once you get out to the river, turn right and paddle until you get to this crystal clear emerald green water in Emerald Cut. Kayak about a mile upstream and then ride the current all the way back down like a natural lazy river. I do want to mention that sometimes when it's rainy, this river gets a brownish tint to it due to the tannins from nearby plant matter, so I do recommend calling King's Landing in advance to inquire about the clarity of Emerald Cut before your visit. This is easily one of my favorite day trips in Florida and a great way to connect with nature. For our next stop, we're heading to the least visited national park in the USA, located 70 miles off the coast of Key West. Dry Tortugas National Park is a true bucket list experience and home to some of the best beaches in Florida with the most beautiful water, and it feels like you're on a deserted island because you basically are. The 2 main ways to get here are by ferry or seaplane, and they both consistently sell out, so I highly recommend making your reservations well in advance of your trip. Once you arrive, you're standing in front of Fort Jefferson, this massive 19th century brick fort sitting right in the middle of turquoise water and coral reef. You can tour the fort, snorkel right off the beach, or if you book months in advance, even camp overnight under some of the darkest skies in Florida. I do want to note that this is an expensive day trip, so definitely save up, but otherwise, this national park might be the most remote, untouched spot you'll ever set foot on in the entire state. While Tampa is known for its beaches and popular attractions, it's also home to a Thai Buddhist temple that offers visitors a chance to experience Thai culture, architecture, and cuisine right here in Florida. Welcome to the Tampa Thai Temple, which is an absolutely incredible place to visit. This Buddhist temple has been running a Sunday morning market for decades, and it draws huge crowds for its incredible authentic Thai food made by temple volunteers, with all proceeds going right back to support the temple. The market has everything from soups and noodle dishes to refreshing Thai tea, mango sticky rice, and so much more. My insider tip is to get here early on Sunday, no later than 11 a.m., because the food sells out fairly quickly. Bring cash as credit cards are not accepted, and come hungry as portion sizes are generous. You can eat near the river, and the whole area is very peaceful, making this a great place to visit on a Sunday morning in Tampa. The next place on this list used to be an abandoned limestone quarry. Now it's one of the most magical looking places in the entire state. Cedar Lakes Woods and Gardens is tucked away in Williston, about 2 hours from Tampa, and it's a 20-acre botanical garden built inside an 110-year-old quarry. The whole place was constructed by one man who spent decades turning it into this amazing garden with waterfalls, koi ponds, wooden bridges, and tons of trails. You'll want to start by exploring the rim as you make your way through a variety of gardens, and then slowly work your way down to the bottom where you get an entirely new perspective. My favorite part of Cedar Lakes is all of the waterfalls, with my favorite one being this waterfall that you can walk behind. How cool is that? This place is quiet, peaceful, and honestly, doesn't even feel like Florida. Located literally right next door to Cedar Lakes is something completely different, a prehistoric underground spring located in a cave. Number 7 is Devil's Den, which is actually an ancient sinkhole you can swim in that has rocks in it dating over 33 million years ago. You'll walk down a staircase into this open cavern, and at the bottom is crystal clear water that's 72 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, with natural light pouring in through a hole in the ceiling above. Devil's Den is over 50 feet deep. You can't just swim here, you have to snorkel or scuba dive, and reservations are required, so make sure to reserve online in advance. What I love about this is the only spring in Florida where you won't see any alligators, so if you're worried, this is the place for you. The cave is fairly small and you're really only there for an hour or two, but it might just be one of the most unique and otherworldly experiences in the state. It honestly feels like swimming in a time capsule. You don't have to leave Florida to feel like you're on a Caribbean vacation. You just have to drive to San Antonio, about 30 minutes north of Tampa. This is the Mirada Lagoon, the largest man-made crystal lagoon in the entire country, at nearly 15 acres of turquoise water and powdery white sand. Once you arrive, you've got swimming, a massive kids' play area, fun obstacle courses, and even a swim-up bar. There's floating cabanas you can rent for the day if you want a private setup right on the water, and food and drinks you can order during your visit. There's even a little island in the middle of the lagoon, and the whole place feels like you're on a tropical beach in the middle of a residential community, making this one of the most surprising hidden gems on this list. If you love underrated spots like the ones I've showed you in this video, you'll love my interactive Florida map, where I've pinned over 800 of my favorite spots across the state, and I'll share it in the description below. If you're looking for the best beach in Florida to go treasure hunting instead of sunbathing, look no further than Caspersen Beach, located in Venice and known as the shark tooth capital of the world. Yes, you really can find shark teeth on this beach, and I usually don't have much luck when looking for them, but that was not the case here, where I found all of these teeth after just 30 minutes of looking. The water here is a stunning turquoise color, and the sand along this beach is actually black in parts due to the dark fragments of all of the fossils ground down into sand. The road to Caspersen Beach was sadly washed away from hurricanes and has yet to be rebuilt, so I recommend driving as far as you can go, parking at South Board Park, and walking the rest of the way. The walk here is totally worth it if you want a fun day out searching for shark teeth along the Gulf Coast. You wouldn't expect Florida, one of the flattest states in the country, to have waterfalls, but it does, and this one I'm going to show you is the tallest in the state. Welcome to Falling Water State Park, located in the Panhandle near Chipley, and it's actually home to a mystery. This natural waterfall is 73 feet tall, and in Florida, that's insanely large, but I do recommend calling in advance and asking about the status of the waterfall before you visit, because if it's been too dry, there won't be much water flowing. Now, here's the mystery. Nobody knows what happens to this water once it reaches the bottom of the waterfall. We don't know where the exit is, so keep your eye out because maybe you'll find it during your visit. Okay, be honest, if I showed you this town, you'd probably think it's somewhere in Europe, right? Our next stop on this list is Rosemary Beach, which is actually located in the Florida Panhandle, and it really does feel like you've stepped into a small European town when visiting. Just look at these gas lamps, little pathways, water features, and beautiful balconies. It's calm and walkable, and lined with cute little cafes and shops. Rosemary Beach is located on the water, and you can see great views from the boardwalk in town, but the only way to get down to the beach itself is to stay there. While you're here, you'll want to bike to the nearby town of Alice Beach, which really reminds me of Greece. Tell me this doesn't look like a luxury Greek island. These towns feel so far away from Florida, more like the Mediterranean coast than the Panhandle, but that's all part of the fun. If I had to pick just one place in Florida to be my favorite saltwater snorkeling spot, it would be Alligator Reef. This place is absolutely fantastic. Alligator Reef is located about 4.5 miles off the coast of Isla Mirada in the Florida Keys, and you'll need to have your own boat to get out here, or you can take a tour, rent a boat, or go on a charter. Despite the name, there are no alligators at this reef. It's named for the USS Alligator, a US Navy schooner that ran aground here in 1822. What I love so much about this reef is it's relatively shallow, with some places being only 8 feet deep, so you can easily float on the surface and enjoy spotting all of the abundant marine life that call this reef home. The visibility here is also the best I've found in the Florida Keys, and although that depends on the day and the conditions, the water clarity here is pretty spectacular. I have never seen such diverse marine life, such incredible water clarity, and such shallow snorkeling as I do at Alligator Reef. Put this place on your list. Did you know that there's a place in Florida that sits at almost 300 feet above sea level, and it's home to one of the most peaceful gardens in the entire state? Welcome to Bok Tower Gardens, which looks like you've stepped into a fairy tale and is located in Lake Wales between Tampa and Orlando. It's home to a singing tower that houses a carillon and really does remind me of Rapunzel's tower from Tangled. You can also visit El Retiro, which is a historic 1930s mansion, for an additional cost, or you can walk around the outside, which is surrounded by little grottos, gardens, and water features. There's even a giant garden just for kids. Seriously, this place is so amazing with many different play areas, making it a great day out for the whole family. Bok Towers is located off the beaten path, and few people, locals and tourists alike, take the time to drive out here, so it really does make a great day trip away from all the crowds. Number 14 is Anna Maria Island, located near Sarasota, and yes, it honestly feels like it skipped the last 50 years of beach development in the state. I am completely blown away each time I visit. Anna Maria is home to miles of powdery white sand and crystal clear water, with no massive chain hotels lining the beach like in Miami or other parts of the state, making the experience feel more like old Florida. The sand here is made up of 99% pure quartz crystal, which means that it has a soft powdery texture and that it never gets too hot to walk on like other beaches in Florida. My favorite thing about Anna Maria Island is that it's not just one beach that's nice, it's an entire island filled with some of the best beaches in the USA. This truly is a magical place and feels worlds away from the built-up beaches in Miami. If you asked me what place has the clearest water in Florida, I would tell you Silver Glen Springs, located in Ocala. The water here is literally as clear as a swimming pool and is some of the most pristine water I've seen in my entire life. I love the zero entry ramp to get in this spring, and there's lots of great areas with sandy bottoms that are shallower. Now, if you prefer a little adventure, swim out over the spring boil. The current here is really strong. During the winter months, you may even be able to spot manatees, and if you're lucky enough to see them, you should only observe them from a safe distance, let them do their thing, and never touch them. Boating is only allowed in the spring run, not the swimming area, so you're safe to swim here, and the water temperature is a constant 72 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. This is truly one of the most magical springs in Florida, with some of the clearest water in the world. Most people drive straight through Alligator Alley in South Florida without ever stopping, but this is a mistake because at mile marker 35, there's a rest stop that's actually a destination of its own. It's called the Everglades Elevated Boardwalk, and it's a free stop located right off I-75. This place is an amazing elevated walkway over 3 acres of wetlands where you can spot alligators and other wildlife from the safety of a raised vantage point. I highly recommend exploring the lower boardwalks and then climbing up this observation tower and winding your way back down to the bottom. I truly can't believe such a fun place is completely free. It really is such a wonderful hidden gem, and it wasn't even busy. Tucked away in Sarasota, the Ringling Museum transports you straight to Europe with its grand architecture and old world charm. This property is huge, so make sure to give yourself enough time when visiting, and I recommend starting off by going to the Italian-style mansion, which has the most gorgeous Venetian Gothic architecture, where you can tour the inside for an additional cost, or just explore the outside. Then visit my favorite spot, which is the private art collection. It reminds me of the Louvre in France. I cannot believe we have something like this right here in Florida. This art collection rivals what you would find in a European gallery, with stunning art and large-scale masterpieces. When you're done with the art galleries, explore the stunning gardens, statues, and architecture located in the courtyard right outside that look like they belong in Florence or Rome. Finally, explore the Circus Museum, which is home to a 40,000-piece scale model replica of the Ringling Bros Barnum and Bailey Circus. This is easily one of my favorite museums in Florida. It's gorgeous and super underrated. Up next, I highly recommend checking out Sanibel and Captiva, which are 2 neighboring barrier islands located in Southwest Florida. They are famously considered one of the best shelling destinations in the world, thanks to the island's unique shape, which is perfect for scooping up shells. There's only one main road for both of these islands, so you'll really want to come here if you're looking for a slower pace. Sanibel Island is the larger of the 2, so make sure to visit Sanibel Lighthouse for my personal favorite beach, and don't forget to drive through the National Wildlife Refuge located on the island. A bit further north is Captiva, which is even quieter than Sanibel and home to more pristine beaches. Make sure to get reservations for a fun dinner at the Bubble Room. Finally, if you're looking for a bit more nightlife, historic downtown Fort Myers is just a 45-minute drive away. You can enjoy drinks at a rooftop bar and stroll around the historic district in the evening. Did you know that there's only one place in the state where you can take a guided cave tour? Tucked away near Mariana in the Panhandle sits Florida Caverns State Park, and what makes this place so special is that it's a cavern in Florida. We do not have accessible caves here because of the aquifer, so this is a truly unique experience. You can go on guided tours of the caverns that take you 75 feet underground. Tours last about an hour. The cavern system is over a mile long. They keep finding new parts to this day. Keep in mind that the tours do not run every day, so make sure to check online in advance before you visit. This place had been on my bucket list for years, and I truly could not believe my eyes when I finally got to visit, and I've seen some of the best caves and caverns in the USA. Now, I want to ask you a question. Would you go snorkeling under a bridge? I hope your answer was yes, because our next stop is going to be snorkeling under the Blue Heron Bridge, which is located in Palm Beach County. This is the best shore dive and snorkel site in America, which means you do not need a boat or a tour to get here, and many people have never even heard of it. You're gonna want to park at Phil Foster Park, which is 100% free, and then head under the Blue Heron Bridge and get in the water, where you'll explore artificial reefs, lots of marine life, and even small shipwrecks. Timing is everything. If you're trying to snorkel here, you should only visit at high tide, so make sure to check the tide tables in advance. This way, you will see the clearest and bluest water, otherwise the water will be murky and the visibility will be poor and not worth it. Blue Heron is proof that you don't have to fly to the Caribbean or go on a dive boat for incredible snorkeling. Sometimes the best spot is under a bridge. This garden used to be one of Florida's biggest tourist attractions, then it disappeared for 20 years and almost nobody knows that it came back. This place is called McKee Botanical Garden, located in Vero Beach, and it's an incredible hidden gem. This subtropical botanical garden is actually listed on the National Register of Historic Places and features so many different and unique areas to explore, like this giant mushroom that really makes you feel like you've stepped into Alice in Wonderland. I also love this walkway through the palm trees and all of the little places to wander. If you have kids, there is a massive kids' play area, complete with a splash pad and tons of places to run around. McKee Gardens is also home to a variety of water features around the property, and even this historic bridge that was lost under the Florida growth for many years until it was discovered in the late 90s. McKee Botanical Gardens is proof that not every hidden gem in Florida is something undiscovered, sometimes it's something rediscovered. If you've always wanted to feel like you were in the mountains right here in Florida, you're in luck. Our next stop is Big Shoals Trail, located about 1 hour north of Gainesville in White Springs. This place is home to Class 3 rapids, and they are the largest whitewater rapids in the entire state. To get here, there's a 2.5-mile round-trip hike where you'll follow these yellow markers, and you'll know you're getting close when the river starts to speed up. When you arrive, there are multiple viewing platforms where you can see the incredible whitewater rapids, and it truly doesn't feel like you're in Florida anymore. While you're in the area, head to the nearby Falling Creek Falls, which is free to visit, and a beautiful natural waterfall that's over 10 feet high. Photos and videos don't do it justice. It really looks like it's just 2 feet high, but in reality, it's quite large, so you have to come see it for yourself. I never hear anyone talk about these spots, so if you love exploring off the beaten path, put Big Shoals on your list. For our next spot on this list, let me introduce you to Winter Park, and specifically the Winter Park chain of lakes, which consists of 6 lakes connected by canals, and you can either paddle on your own or go on a tour. I took a tour called Scenic Boat Tour, and it's been running since 1938 and takes you through a side of Florida most theme park visitors never see as you travel through these really cool canals and explore the mansions along the lakes. When you're done with the chain of lakes, head to the nearby Rollins Museum of Art, which is a free art museum located on the campus of Rollins College. Finally, end your day in downtown Winter Park, which has a lovely National Historic District that's gorgeous to walk around and explore. Next time you're in the Orlando area, skip the theme parks and visit this cute town filled with tons of old Florida charm. Up next, we have Myakka River State Park, which is located near Sarasota and home to an incredible swinging bridge in the trees. This canopy walkway is the only canopy walkway in Florida, and keep in mind there are only 74 canopy walkways in the entire world, which makes visiting this one extra special. There's a short hike to get here, and then you're gonna climb over 70 feet up to the top of the trees, and halfway up, you're gonna see this really cool canopy walkway, and yes, it is bouncy. Then finish your climb for the rest of the way to the top for this absolutely incredible 360-degree view over the treetops below. That's not all, this is actually a fabulous place to see alligators and other wildlife, so just make sure to stay on the path and keep your distance while you're out exploring what Florida used to look like before all the development. Finally, I wanted to share that we have a Japanese garden right here in Florida and that it's so amazing to visit. This is the Morikami Museum and Japanese Gardens, located in Delray Beach, and this spot is totally underrated. There's a variety of gardens that you'll see during your visit. These gardens are modeled after different time periods throughout Japanese history, and I also loved all of the little bridges that you can walk across with all of the various water features. When you're done exploring the gardens, don't forget to head to the museum, which features various exhibits, and stop at the gift shop where you can buy a variety of items. I always love the Japanese snacks that you can get here. The Morikami Museum is a true hidden gem in Florida, and you won't regret stopping by. If you made it this far, I'm so glad you did, because this state is constantly getting reduced to Miami and theme parks, but as you can see, there's a whole other side to Florida with caves, canopy walkways, European architecture, and even waterfalls. If this video helped you plan your next cool thing to see, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.